Hello, everyone. Let me just start the presentation. Let me go into the presentation mode. So, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on where you're joining from. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for joining today's session and making me a part of your data journey with Qlik. Few points to keep in mind regarding today's session. Today's session will be recorded and it will be available for you to watch at a later date as well as for you to share with your colleagues. We also have an active chat available for this session, which can be used to post questions or even to introduce yourself. That's all from the housekeeping side of things. So, welcome to the webinar on Qlik Automl and how it can help you to unlock business insights. Today's webinar has been organized by Qlik in collaboration with Keyrus. I hope everyone is excited for today's webinar as much as me. So before we get started, let me quickly introduce Keyrus and myself so that it gives you an idea of who we are and how we can help you. So Keyrus is a global organization with presence in 26 countries with a workforce of 3,500 plus consultants. Today's session is being conducted by our office in Canada, where we have around 50 consultants working on various technologies. We have offices in Montreal and Toronto. So if any one of you guys want to connect in person, we would be happy to meet you. So globally, Keyrus works on building end-to-end digital and data solutions. We help businesses to build success needs. And along with all these things, we also officially partner with multiple data integration and analytics to companies. So along with consultation, we also work on sales side of things for a wide variety of tools like Qlik, Talent, Data IQ, Fitran, Reverie, Tableau, Microsoft, and a lot more. So moving on, these are the amazing set of people who have helped me to shape today's webinar. Fabio is the Director of Operations at Keyrus Canada. Hedy is our sales guru. And then comes the stars at Keyrus, which is none other than Tio and I. We work on technical pre-sales as well as consultation side of things for Qlik-related tools at Keyrus. A little bit more information about me. I have been working with Qlik tools from last 10 years and have been a Keyrus employee for more than 2 years now. So in case if you have any questions or would like to discuss Qlik Automl later on, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of us, either on LinkedIn or on the contact information mentioned on this slide. So that's all about Keyrus and me for now. So without wasting any further time, let's get started with today's webinar. In today's webinar, we will be discussing overview of Qlik Automl, then why your business needs Automl, how Qlik Automl works, and at the end, we will see a live demo on how Qlik Automl can help a business scenario. So let's discuss a little bit about the history of Automl. So Automl has a rather short history. Work on it started in the 1990s, and during that time, various companies started building open source tools. Then around 2013, an open source tool called Veka was introduced, which helped research scientists and engineers to automate various tasks. Then in the early 2020s, Qlik introduced Automl, which helped to integrate Automl kind of feature in an advanced analytics tool like Qlik. And in my view, it is a very revolutionary idea which can help users with little to no knowledge of coding to deploy machine learning models and take database informed decisions. Now coming to what is AutoML. So AutoML stands for Automated Machine Learning. In layman's term, AutoML makes it easy for users with no coding knowledge to use the power of machine learning. Now, coming to Qlik Automl, let's see what kind of problems does Qlik Automl helps to solve using different machine learning techniques. So Qlik Automl uses binary classification, multi-class classification, and regression techniques to solve a wide variety of problems. So what is binary classification? So this particular method, it helps you to solve yes and no kind of problems. It helps you to answer questions like, will the inventory stock out? Will an invoice be paid? Will a shipment be on time or not? So this kind of problems, which have a yes or no kind of an answers, can be solved using these technique. Then coming to multi-class classification, it categorizes data and forms groups based on similarities. It helps to answer questions like, what warehouse will be short-staffed next week? So it helps you to form groups of similar kind, and it tells you that whether a particular, for example, where a particular warehouse will be shopped next week, then which inventory group will be out of stock, these kind of questions. Then one more question which it answers and is very, very good one is, what product will a customer purchase, and so forth. Then coming to the regression or numeric technique. So this technique is used to predict a number at a future point. One very famous example in which this modeling technique was used is that during COVID-19, uh, during COVID, a lot of data scientists had built machine learning models to predict possible number of COVID cases in the near future date. And it had helped the health services to manage resources in an efficient manner. So this kind of technique can be very useful when you want to predict a number for a future date. Another questions which this technique helps to answer are, how much inventory will be on hand and what is the expected lifetime value of a customer. So these are the techniques that Qlik Automl uses. Now moving on, let's see why your business needs Automl or how Qlik Automl can help your business. Let's discuss the use cases of Qlik Automl in 3 layers. So what does Qlik Automl solve in a business world? What kind of problem it solves in different industries? And lastly, how it can help different departments within an industry. So in business world scenario, Qlik Automl can be a powerful tool to assist businesses in effectively harnessing their data, gaining actionable insights, and making more informed decisions, which in turn leads to process improvements, operation optimizations, and a better understanding of customer trends and behavior. Now let's look at various industries. Now, in various industries, Qlik Automl can solve various problems specific to those industries, as well as some common cases. Since we have limited time on hand, let's discuss use cases for manufacturing and healthcare. Manufacturing industry. So in this particular sector, Automl can help to predict machine failures so that it can help with any issues related to production, as well as it can also help with supply chain optimization and demand prediction for different products, which can help to increase or decrease production of those products accordingly. Now, coming to the healthcare industry, in the healthcare industry, Qlik Automl can help to solve issues like identifying disease pattern, predicting treatment outcomes, and help managing hospital resources. So these kind of Automl kind of technique can be very helpful for doctors. So in case of cancer patients, like if we have a Automl kind of feature already available, it can detect patterns of based on your test results and predict whether a customer would be likely to have cancer or some other disease for that matter. In case if you need more information about other industries, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Now, let's discuss use cases in sales and operations department. And later on, we will see a demo which is based on finance department. So in case if you have any questions regarding specific department, please either mention it in the chat or reach out to me on LinkedIn. So some of the use cases for sales department are, so Qlik Automl helps to forecast whether we will win or lose a project bid. So it can help you to already start planning for your project for which you're betting if you have Automl kind of feature already deployed. Then it can also help you to predict whether a customer will churn or not. So if, for example, if in the predictions you get outcome that a particular customer is going to churn, you can take certain measures to avoid that kind of a scenario in the future. Then coming to the operations department, in operations department, the most important use case would be predicting the workforce demand, which in turn will help us to optimize or do a better planning of how many people you would need for a particular product development or different kind of scenarios in different business world. So, till now we have discussed what techniques Qlik uses and its use cases. Now let's discuss how it actually works. So, Qlik identifies key drivers in your historical data sets and generates machine learning models using the best algorithms. So to deploy this, but this is so to deploy Qlik you just need to simply select a target field in your data and let Qlik do the work. So how it works? It scores and ranks multiple machine learning models and selects the best performing model for your data set. It determines the key business drivers which are driving a particular outcome. Then it also lets users to easily fine tune and refine their models with unlimited experimentation. Then it deploys models and makes predictions. After that, it publishes predictive data and integrates model with Qliksense dashboard for exploration and what-if analysis. And after the integration, it helps users to take database-informed decisions. So along with predicting what the outcome would be, it also helps you to identify what is the feature which is deriving this particular outcome. So that's all from the theory side of things related to AutoML. Now let's move on to the fun and exciting part for today's webinar. That is a demo on Qlik AutoML and how it can help businesses. So in today's demo, we'll be seeing how Qlik AutoML can help finance department to solve any delay in account receivable and how Qlik can help to take actionable steps that can avoid such scenarios. So let me quickly share my screen and share the Qlik dashboard with you. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Thank you. Okay, so let's quickly get started with the demo. So okay, so here you can see I've opened a particular sheet called OpenAI Balance Details. So a key area of focus for every finance department and account receivables is account receivable. That is what cash flow are we expecting this upcoming pay period based on products we have sold. So a CFO or accountant is likely to start his working day looking at a dashboard like this. They can see that there is about 98.6 millions in open balance from about 15,000 customers. And he can see the breakdown of different dimensions by aging bucket, by region at the top right, customers down below, and by product types. As you can see, he is getting a view into current finances of the business. However, there is a good chance that some of these customers, for a multitude of reasons, will be late on their payments for the upcoming pay period. But that kind of information is missing here. This is critical for business because the organization needs to know what fraction of their expected cash flow that they might have made plans for is at risk. Secondly, can anything be done to reduce this risk? So let's imagine a world where more advanced analytics is applied. So after deploying Qlik to predict the possible customers who might be late on payments and integrating it with the dashboard, we can also see the missing information from this dashboard. So let's open the sheet called predicted late payments and let's see how it works. Okay, so I have opened the particular sheet called predicted late payments. Now let's select a particular accountant to narrow down the search. Okay, so let's select an accountant called Nicholas. So here we are predicting that for this particular accountant, there are 38 customers out of 68 customers who will be late in payments, and that there is about 1.48 million predicted to be late for the upcoming month. He can see to the left the bar chart shows by year and month the percent of expected cash flow that came in late for a particular month here. But now, Nick can also see what's forecasted for the upcoming month. That's color coded in red. For example, in the month of November 2021, about 47% of the expected cash flow came in late. But in the future month of December, in red, he is a bit relieved that only 25% of the total expected amount from his customers is being predicted to be late. The scatter plot to the right is also very interesting because here we can see the customers we are predicting are likely going to be late on their payments and the predicted late payment amount. These values are derived using Qlik's integrated predictive analytics capabilities of AutoML. On the x-axis, we have the probability of being late for a given customer, and on the y-axis, the amount we are predicting to be late. So we should focus on the top right quadrant. A customer of interest for Nick is Schmidt. Let's select this particular customer. Okay, so after selecting this particular customer, we can see that the amount we anticipate that they will be late in paying is around $114K. For this particular customer, when you check the credit status of this particular customer, you can see this particular customer has a credit status of on hold. This can be a red flag. This ability to predict what will occur in the future and why is possible due to Qlik's predictive and explainability capability of Qlik Automl. So here we are also determined what could be the reason for that customer for being late on payment. Now let's see how are we making these predictions. So I have taken a screenshot of the Automl window. Let me just quickly open that sheet. So here is a screenshot of the capability of Qlik Automl in action. So Qlik's active intelligence not only provides predictions, but also the underlying factors driving those predictions so that you can make decisions driven by insights. So we are not only predicting what will happen, we are also going to give you information about why this particular outcome has been given by Qlik Automl. So here you can see you will be able to see the key features that are deriving a particular outcome. Okay. So let's move on to the next sheet. So let's see what is causing account receivable late payments. What are the reasons behind this? Okay. So on this particular sheet, on the top right-hand side of the sheet in the table, we can see that the top drivers for late payments for Smith are number of paid invoices, payment method, and the sub-region Smith resides in. Green color coding here tells us that this activity helps the customer pay on time. And activities or attributes in red are reasons that drive this customer to be late. Finally, we started our demonstration by showing you the current state of dashboard. For most finance teams, now I will show you what the future state of your dashboard can look like with Qlik's advanced analytics capabilities. So let's open the sheet, Account Receivables Summary KPI Dashboard. Let's deselect the customer. So now, in the updated dashboard, we can see the current open AR balance, the amount overdue. However, now we can see what will happen in the future with the predicted late payments. And lastly, looking into this dashboard, Qlik helps finance teams to focus on higher value activities that drive businesses and cash flow. And it does this in a multitude of ways. So Qlik gives you transparency into how much of the expected cash flow is at risk. Also, it forecasts which customers are likely going to be late on payments. It also understands the reason why these customers could be late. Based on this information, it can help teams to create strategies to help customers pay on time. So in summary, Qlik Automl can give more time to account receivables team to take actions on risky payments. So that's all for today's demo. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time. Now, coming to the next important part, does anyone have any questions? Okay, so we have our first question. So the question which I have is, what is the main difference between AutoML and traditional machine learning? That's a good question. So the main difference between traditional ML and AutoML is the ability of AutoML to deploy machine learning models without doing any actual coding. So the steps which we had seen previously while discussing how Qlik AutoML works. If we were to use traditional machine learning, all those steps would have to be manually coded. But AutoML automates all those steps. So it helps users with no coding knowledge or very little coding knowledge to deploy machine learning models by doing all the steps which we had discussed previously. We have a second question. So how much data set can we use on Qlik AutoML? So by default, a Qlik SaaS account gives you access to use two machine learning models and a dataset of size 100K. But one thing to note is that the dataset size is measured by the number of columns into number of rows. So it is not just purely 100K records that you're going to use to train the model. It's the number of cells that you're going to feed to the model. So Qlik AutoML is sold by capacity, which is measured by number of deployed models and the size of dataset. So additional capacity. So for example, if you need more than two models or more, or if you want to train a model for with more than 100K data size. So in that case, you will have to purchase additional capacity based on tier for customers that needs higher number of deployed models or data size. Any other questions? In case if you have any questions which you are not able to discuss it over here, you can reach out to me later also. Let's wait for a few more minutes. Okay, we have our third question. So what are the limitations of AutoML in terms of data types? That's a good question. I would say AutoML is less suited for unstructured data, such as images, text, or audio inputs. Even though progress has been made in these areas, still some human expertise is often needed. Then other cases in which AutoML might not be an ideal fit is when we have a very high dimensional data set or a highly unbalanced data set for that matter. I hope that answers your question. Any other questions? Let's wait for a few more minutes. Let's see if we have any additional questions. Okay, I think we don't have any more questions. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining today's session. It was really a pleasure presenting this particular topic to all of you. So just in case, if you have any questions or would like to discuss any particular part of this webinar or have any other topics related to Qlik that you want to discuss, I'd be more than happy to discuss it with you. So we can either discuss it on LinkedIn or you can just shoot me a message on my mobile number that we had displayed previously. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.